So I'm going to show you a project I did on my own for the company I worked for, which is NC Fit, which is a fitness company. So like you noticed in my About Me section, I drafted workouts that we would draft in Google Sheets, and we'd put this out to what we currently have is now over 300 different gyms worldwide. Um, so for example here, so you see Monday the February the 11th, we had overhead squats. It's a movement where you put a barbell up and overhead, and then workouts with slam balls and alternating slam ball lunges. Okay, so what I did is that my boss, what he'd normally do is that we had two different things we did. We developed workouts, and we also wrote session plans, what we call briefs, um, for those workouts, right? And what, well, maybe I probably should show you what a brief kind of looks like here. See if I got it. Nope. Let's get my other account here. So you'd write briefs for a bunch of people. Okay, so a brief, essentially what it would consist of is the workout, right? So these are the same workouts, but workouts put into this format here, and then underneath this would be a whole class essentially structured for the coach. So the coach could read this introduction, stimulus, timeline, warm up, teaching section, scaling section, right? So this is a whole lesson plan that we wrote out, right? So we developed the workouts. This is this right here, and we had to write the session plan. So the thing is that my boss would take all these workouts right here, and he would put them into the session plans, right? And do this manually, right? So we had a whole templated. He would copy it in, then he would copy in the workouts. Then the briefing team would come in, or the briefing team would come in. They would write and fill us all in, right? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to automate this process, and that's exactly what I did. So if you press this little button right here, you go to this blank document. Now maybe I didn't show that as being blank, so I'll delete this, right? So this document's completely blank. Boom, boom. Right, there's nothing in here at all. Okay, this is a single page. You click this button right here, and you'll notice, boom, right? The workouts come in. Not only that, they come in correctly formatted. You have the time, you have the warm-up put in, they're correctly formatted. Also, you have all this template right here, so that way the briefers can come in and they can fill that all in, right? So what I did to make this happen, all the workouts for that week were filled in. I had a button per week, the whole month that we would plan. We planned month by month. Well, yeah, essentially month by month. So I had a button for each week, right? And so what I did to use this, what I did to make this happen was I used something called Google Scripts. And what Google Scripts is a way of synthesizing. Google allows you to like make your own kind of like apps, kind of stuff like this, that you can merge or make, Google Sheets communicate with Google Docs and Gmail and so on and so forth, right? Kind of make your own functions within it, essentially. And what you do is you use JavaScript, and it has your own built-in functions within the ID, okay? So I'm going to kind of take you through this code. So what I first did is I got the active sheet, and that was for this right here. And then I get the document by ID, and that's this document right here that I get. Oops, sorry. And I get the body of that document, right? So that's all this stuff in here, right? And I edit that document, edit that as text, okay? So that's me getting this document here and getting that prepped and ready to go, essentially. And then what I do is I have multiple different for loops, and this probably wasn't the most efficient coding. This is when I first started learning this, right? I get the range, I get values, so I get all these values right here. And so what this means right here, so this 3 and this x, so I made it variable because what happens is I'm going to get 1 day at a time, okay? And my starting point is my row data that I'm going to fill in is 3, and then I already set the value of x until 2, all right? And so what that is 3 is here, okay, and my value is 2. So my row is here, 3, 2, so that means I'm starting on this value right here. And that makes sense because that's the first day, that's the first square of the first array or whatever that I fill in, right? Then I get the values of each one, and I append that to a table, right, that row of data, right? append that row, boom, boom, boom. So essentially I get this whole row right here, and I put that into this table. I can put it in here, okay? And then I go through, and this is less than 8, so X is less than 8, so that means I'm going through. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 right here. I don't even get the last week here. It's either boop, boop, boop. Saturday. Oh, yeah, I don't even get Sunday. So I actually messed up a little bit. But yeah, so technically that should be less than, boop, 9, right? Cool. See if that works. See if that fixed that problem right here. Command. See that. All right, let's try this out here. See if I get my Sunday in. I'll put that in. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Finishing scripts. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got it. Oop, let's see. There it is. Then I get my Sunday. Cool. So less than 9. So we'll go each day, boom, 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 all the way through to the end, right? And then, so now the problem is that I had to make some certain adjustments to the formatting, right? So I want it to be in the center. I wanted this to be bold, so the date was bolded, okay? So every cell 00 within that, I bold, and if it wasn't that, right, I centered it and did bold it. So that's what those tables do. Now all this stuff right here, this is me, all this is right here is me putting this stuff right here into this document, right? So this is pre-formatted appending text into that. So that is my uploading to brief Google script function that I developed for NCFit. Well, actually for myself.